Let's look at it from this perspective. Starting in free agency, who should the Lions prioritize first? Most important, if you could only have one person back, either or, Carlton Davis, the veteran, on the in the secondary, or the veteran guard in Kevin Zeitler, who had a good season, who would solidify that offensive line, but is a candidate to be replaced by a young player that really acclimated well, and when he was given his opportunity, played really well with the offensive line and kind of showcased why he was a draft pick. Christian Mahogany's earned the confidence of a lot of people. I think he's a confident player, ready to put in the work when you battle all year and you still are in meetings and learning and everything. And then you get your opportunity and you play at a high level. I think there's an opportunity for him to kind of slot in there and take the veteran spot. But you can never have too many decent offensive linemen. But to me, it's Carlton Davis because of the fact that I think his mentorship of Tyrion Arnold is valuable, and I think he just is a talented player. Now, the question mark is he's never, for the last, several seasons, I don't think ever has played more than 14 games in a season, and I think the last time that was 2020. So he's always missing a handful of games, and he did miss after the Bills game, though the remainder of the season did not appear in the Commanders game. But I just think what he brings to the table, I think the question mark for Davis and the Lions is going to be how much. Is it going to get north of 17? Are the Jets or multiple teams going to put in a massive offer for him? You might have to make a delicate decision. But if you're prioritizing, I think between Kevin Zeitler and Carlton Davis, I think the vote goes to Carlton Davis from me.
Yeah, I agree. I think that in this round I'm taking Carlton Davis, and the reason for that is the type of cornerback that likes to play the way the Lions defense wants to play. They're hard to find, and when you can get a veteran one who's won a Super Bowl and has that confidence and leadership about him, you got to keep that around. And like you said, he's an excellent mentor for guys like Arnold and Rakestraw and guys that maybe they could take a chance on in the draft even this year. Who knows? And I think that he does just really fit what the Lions do really well. And that's not to say Kevin Zeitler doesn't, because Kevin Zeitler was an excellent addition for the Lions offensive line. They got him a little bit later in the free agency process on a 1 year deal. And I think that that was one of the best moves of the offseason. He was awesome up front. But I think that given his age, and the fact that if he were to return, it would likely only be on a short-term deal. I do think that there's a benefit for letting a guy like Christian Mahogany go out there and try and fail a little bit. And if he messes up and he struggles, then you give him an opportunity to learn from it. And I also think that there are some options, especially early on in this draft, where they could really boost the interior offensive line. So I think there's some options there as well to replace Zeitler. I think that obviously the Lions, when everybody's healthy, they have one of the best offensive lines in the league. But I do think that there's people in place to where if Zeitler were to go, they would have capable replacements ready to roll, and they've shown that amidst injuries throughout the last several years. So Davis, on the other hand, is just his style of play and how well it fits the Lions is hard to replicate. So I think that if you have to choose between the two of them, it's got to be Carlton Davis.